Hey, good morning, everybody. 10 o'clock, and welcome to the WebEx today. So we'll get some things lined up here for you.
Okay, thanks.
And so I can keep my sanity.
To unmute your line, press *6 or #6.
All right, we'll have a couple people. It looks like they're dialing in right now and joining us. I made it to Chambersburg this morning, and I'm here, but I have no live studio audience, and I always miss that. I do enjoy having a live studio audience, but that's okay. Appreciate all of you tuning in, and we'll have this, of course, recorded and archived for all those that seem to sleep in on Thursdays. Today I want to take you to step 2 in our little adventure for video and give you some ideas of some things that you can do now that you're working on creating some video or you're thinking about it. Where can you go with these videos? Well, the choice always for me these days is going to be YouTube for a number of reasons. YouTube certainly has reached the critical mass, and they have the largest number of people subscribing and using their tools. If you're not familiar with YouTube that much, the amount of video that's being uploaded, a statistic that's probably a year old at this point, is that for every minute of the day, every day, there are 48 hours of video being uploaded. Now, that's about a year-old statistic. So I'd say that there's probably in the neighborhood of 60 hours being uploaded every minute. I know for me, my uploads are getting more frequent, and I'm sure that's true for many, many, many people. The great thing is there's not a lot of restrictions, and it's free. And the amount of uses that we can have and the purpose for our videos is really pretty broad, and that's what I want to show you today. Maybe give you some ideas on, well, you know, I don't know what to do to video. I wouldn't know where to begin. Well, you know, I'm working my way through some apps to give you some ideas. These apps directly link into YouTube. So if you look at the Videolicious app, you can see that you can attach it to your YouTube account. So as soon as I finish, I hit upload. My video is off and off to the races and living on YouTube minutes later. YouTube allows you to upload directly. Now it takes a strong connection to shoot live video and shoot it directly into YouTube, but it can be done. They can capture directly. So I could use my webcam and capture, and I'll show you something that we're actually working on right now that is doing exactly that, and that's going to be the next little adventure that you see coming from myself and Ian Weaver, who is now managing Carlisle. Ian had an idea. We put it together, and we've done our first test program, and we'll be back with more, and I think that's going to have a nice impact for us. So here's what we're looking to do. Why are we bothering with all this? Well, one of the most important reasons is that I can't get to my tab. Is that YouTube and Google, Google has acquired YouTube some time ago. And so when you Google yourself, if you do such a thing, since Google now owns YouTube, your search results are going to be pretty strong. So I'm searching myself for YouTube. If I search John Theis without adding YouTube as a character, let's see, YouTube typically comes up on the front page. As luck would have it, it's probably not going to do it today. My Google Plus account is starting to push me off of the front page right now simply because I've gotten more active in Google Plus. I'm I'm also more active on Twitter, so it seems my really active channels are pushing me around a little bit. And I'm not directly linked to YouTube as John Tice. I'm actually coming up under my Twitter handle as @HomeInHershey. So, but the idea is it's going to give you additional searching power for people to find you on Google, which, as many of you know, is always my end game. But right now, video can really win a lot of friends for you when you're doing listing presentations. If you're going to be applying video, even a simple use, getting around within YouTube for your videos that come from ERA. The video that we're going to have for our Town video series. Being able to step in here and link these videos to other marketing that you're going to be doing should be a simple first step for you, and you need to be doing it. Links perfectly into Facebook. So many applications are already wired together for YouTube, and of course, the younger the buyer, the more they consume video. Statistic currently is that bracket, that 18 to 34-year-old demographic that's out there, consumes about 90% of the video content that we show. So if you're looking to reach that next level of buyers, whether they're buyers, sellers, whatever it is, they're very big fans of YouTube and all things video. And of course, they're the ones walking around at the Olympics right now with a camera on their helmet going down the race. I still can't believe that an Olympic performer would be in a race for a gold medal with a camera strapped to their head. But that's the expectation today, and that's what we're dealing with. That's the group we're trying to reach. So as we look into YouTube, let's look at the moving parts within YouTube and get an idea of what's it all about. Naturally, it knows it's me, and I have a number of accounts, and I've created different accounts for different purposes. So when we look down the left side, I can find my uploads. It keeps a history of things that I've viewed. Again, it knows that it's me. I can search YouTube for any content at all. The big upload button right in the middle is always available for you. And then one of my accounts that I have listed here is Dauphin Property. If I click on that name, I get my menu of things that I can do within that particular grouping. My video manager is simply my list of property videos that I've uploaded. So this is some video footage that I shot. And for those of you that are familiar with my listing that I had in Dauphin, the 298 acres, instead of creating just a stock brochure with pictures, I created a brochure with an aerial photograph, and I linked QR codes to specific videos around the property. Now, what we can see here on the right is I had mailed these things out. I was distributing them when I met with someone that it was appropriate, passed them on to other agents. And the one video has been viewed 33 times. The main video, which is the house tour, was 41 times. And some of the lesser videos around the property, a handful of times, 6 and 9 times, 4 times. These are little views around the property. But what I was able to do with these, instead of shooting 1,000 pictures, I shot some videos, added the tags on an aerial photo, and so as somebody was looking at the brochure, remember 298 acres, instead of hiking 298 acres, they easily could look at a video of what it meant to stand in that particular spot on that property. And you got a 180 view in most cases. And so wherever that QR code was showing on that brochure, that's what they were easily able to do. Okay, YouTube, you got to let me get back here. There we go. So that's where all the views come in. My favorite one was this particular piece, because now we have running water. And I'm not going to fuss with sound today for this. But you get, if you can imagine, if you were standing by this stream, this is a trout stream, a stock trout stream for youth fishing on the property. You can hear the water running.
Yeah, get another place.
There we go. And we can give them a little bit of an idea of what it means to be right on that property. The whole goal of this is to create more of an emotional connection with them with this property. And if you were into fishing and heard that water running and saw that stream, I can see that can be pretty powerful for you, and that was the intent. But by setting up its own channel, I was able to track all the videos, the amounts of play, and when you get to this part, you could watch them all, and they were only related to that property, which actually was a request of the owner. He didn't like them being in the mix with everything else I do, which gets to be, you know, pretty random sometimes, and had nothing to do with their property, and a simple request, and so we uploaded them that way. And then naturally you can always go and do the full property tour if you want to do the little walking tour. And it looks just like that. I think it gives you an opportunity to show a property in an altogether different light. It gives you a way to make an emotional attachment with the property, cover a lot of territory, and maybe weed out some people that, you know, if they walked in and said, oh, I didn't care for that finish, I have no interest, saves a lot of driving around. So these are additional virtual showings of these properties. So that's the intent behind it. So we can have this as a particular purpose. If I go into my accounts, these days I have numerous accounts for many of the things that I do. And it's kind of limited by your imagination. Whatever you start to imagine that you can show, just like I archive these WebExes these days, you can start to create your own PR, and that's exactly what I'm looking to do. Ian and I have started a little program that he's calling Realty Talk.
John Pipes and Mimi, everybody knows Mimi, and we're here today just to talk about what it is to be an agent, what it is to be an agent,
and what we've created is a little interactive interview show where we can meet with parties, experts in our field, and start to add some content and some value of what you can expect being in the real estate business. In this case, what she has seen in changes in training and what's effective today when you're coming into the business, because we are meeting a lot of people that are considering a career in real estate. And do you need to go into a classroom, or can you do them online? And what's her success? And what changes has she seen? And we're piloting this one right now. We're still editing that piece, but it's something that we were able to shoot and capture directly to YouTube. And you'll see a series of these. We are starting to line up guests for our interviews, and we're going to be working on our interview skills. But the software allows us to do all these things, and again, we can do them for free, which is the coolest part. So you'll see more of these coming down the road in the near future. You have the ability to have a number of channels, and of course this is my personal channel, the cover page, and of course the one that you hopefully you're all familiar with is going to be our JGR training. It's going to let me go there, and there you go. So I get asked all the time, where do these WebExes live? Well, they live in YouTube as JGR training. So when you get into YouTube, if you just type in JGR, JGR training, it's going to bring you right to this spot.
What couldn't they find?
And you'll have access to the whole list of property or videos that we've uploaded. In the short time that I'm doing this presentation, we're up to 40 videos that are here. And the part that I love about it, I've got some programs that have been viewed.
Oh, this is useless. I mean, you just talk. Yeah.
Has me logged in somehow. But at any rate, we've got some of the videos that have been viewed over 80 times, and still the most popular one has to do with the ERA microsites for you.
Look at the axis.
Got somebody bleeding over me. There we go. So you have analytics that will track and tell you exactly how many views you have. Even more fun than that, they'll tell you the type of audience you have, the minutes that they've watched, if they've shared them, where in the United States they are. And you can start to construct a really powerful marketing push. So we know that the days that things were being watched. So if I sent out a postcard, for example, that had a link, or an email with a link to this video, which I do seems every day right now, I will know exactly the response rate of how these things are being opened. I can tell if you're watching the whole thing or only a portion of it. Once we get numbers that are big enough, it will show me the hot spots within the video where people stop, watch that segment over again, or maybe they all bail out after the first minute or two because it's terrible. You'll know that all that information. Again, it takes quite a bit of data to engage some of their analytics, but we can show where they're viewing these, if they're viewing them in the United States, where they're coming from, what their source of the traffic was, if they're coming directly through YouTube or an unknown direct link, which these here unknown direct would simply be my emails that are coming to you. But people are finding them, and they're starting to subscribe. If you find a channel that you really enjoy, you can simply hit subscribe. And as I add videos, you'll be notified. Now, the important part here, Google owns YouTube. Google has created the Google Plus network. Everything that I do here is linked into Google Plus. And I'm getting views within that Google Plus network from people all over the place. I have no idea who they are, but they're watching this content. YouTube has become its own Facebook community. Google Plus is its own community. And within those, there are different styles to sharing information and what resonates with people. And you have the ability through the different platforms to kind of pick it apart and see where people relate to what you're doing. And this is really important because, again, a message perhaps that I would put out on Google Plus that will be effective might be different than something I would do on Facebook. It's certainly different than I would do on LinkedIn. But I have the ability to link these things into all of these platforms very simply. So if you're trying a social media marketing campaign, let's think open houses, because we're doing an open house program coming up very shortly in March. If you'd really like to leverage it, well, I have a couple ideas on that one. First, you need to create some kind of a video or have some material available. That's kind of the no-brainer. So something that you all have access to are your videos within ERA. So we'll just search my favorite town of Hershey, and who doesn't love Maple Avenue? How did Jeff get Hershey listed up there? Well, Jeff has one. So this is living within YouTube. We can simply capture that URL, Come on over to Facebook. Paste that into the bar. Facebook is going to take that video, format it, it looks real professional, and now you've linked your ERA video, which is already created for you, into your Facebook page. Once it displays, make sure you eliminate the coding for the video. The video will not disappear, and now I can put a special message. How about visit this home? During our open house event, Sunday 1 to 4. And then, of course, there are ways to share this. That maybe you want to send it out to a smaller group of your network or a larger group. Simply go to the bottom. You've got all your lists, and I can send this just to my friends in Lebanon. If I chose to, or to my family. But I just send it to my Lebanon group and I post it, and they're the only ones on Facebook that will see it. Now, when they view it, their friends will see it, and it can have a little bit of an organic reach that way. But here's the simplest way to leverage these tools that you already have. So you have a sense of a video because of what ERA has created for you. You can drop it into Facebook. I can take that same coding, send it out through Twitter, send it into LinkedIn, exactly the same format, and it will have a tremendous reach for you. But you got to make the effort and do it. But what a great way to add another layer to your marketing for your open house. So all of these videos that we've created have that same ability. So let's say that you like the little Videolicious app presentation from the other day. There we go. When you're in the viewing page, you come down here to share. We'll click on share. There's the code that we need for this particular video. We'll simply copy it, and we can head back to Facebook. We're going to delete this one. And now I'll come back and share my new video with just a great yacht. I'm waiting for my yacht to show up with my helicopter and fleet of sailboats. But we can share it exactly the same way. Post it, eliminate the link, and add a little description to it that you'd like to send out to the world, and send it to whatever group of folks that you want to see. So you can easily share all of these videos. The tools are right in front of you. There are buttons to send it into other networks. Personally, I have control issues, and so I like to take the link and manage it in my own way. And so I'll just copy the link, and any of the videos that you see me share, that is exactly the process I use to send them to you. Another tool that we can use, perhaps you don't have editing software and you want to do something special with a video that you've created that you'd like to have a little more control. You have a lot of editing features these days. First, I could download this. I can download it if it's my personal video. Downloading videos that are not your property can be a little more difficult. But let's say I need to go in and edit this one that, you know, I just didn't like the beginning of it. Well, we can go into enhancements. It'll bring up that video, and it brings it up in an editing page where we could trim it. We could actually speed up the rate of the video and save it that way, so certain sections would be at a higher rate of speed. We can adjust some of the lighting, some of the contrast. It will allow you to take out some of the shakiness, and YouTube has all these features built into it. If you go through it and you just don't like anything that you've done, you simply go back to the original. If you like the changes that you've made, well, you need to save it. It will process it, so it's not immediate, but it will process in probably 20, 30 minutes later, depending on the length of the video, your new version will be saved, and you're ready to go. There's your stabilization feature. So you have a number of features that you can add. Again, if you don't have editing software and you've done a walkthrough of a house and you'd like to add an audio track, well, you can come in here and add audio. Now, this is a tough exercise because they have so much music in here that you will probably drive yourself nuts trying to make a selection. Let me give you a tip. If you do this and find a tune that you like, remember what section it was in, so it was R&B, and the name of the track, because finding it the second time is really pretty tough. Search all tracks. They have 150,000 pieces of music that you can choose from. You really don't want to do that. This takes hours, and it just gets harder and harder and harder. So make sure that you keep it simple, guys. Don't want you spending your life in here. And you can come in and simply create a different soundtrack and put a nice little musical track under it. Again, we don't have to go off and do anything special with software, editing systems. This is pretty straightforward stuff, and we'll probably do 90% of the edits that you ever do. If you like the little pop-up bubbles from, what was that, pop-up videos from some time ago, I'm dating myself here, you can add those kind of annotations to it. You can add captions and have a closed caption to go along with your videos for someone that's impaired. So all these tools are available, and again, the simple thing is you got to do it and then save it. So the simple process of collecting videos, sorting them by perhaps the channel that you have out there, being able to track it, follow it, know the analytics. What a great thing to put together a campaign for an owner. So I'm going to be sending out a postcard announcing our open house. I'm going to be adding a video, and then you can follow up before the open house. Well, our postcard, so I sent out 30 postcards. I had 20 people view the video. We had an open house where 10 or 15 people showed up. These are pretty qualified people. They received your information. They viewed the walkthrough or whatever information, community information is very popular around the home, not just a walkthrough of the house. But they can view all that information when they show up. You can tell by the questions that they'll ask just how involved they were with all of your media. Perhaps they'll come in and say, you know, I saw you had the pictures of the swim club. Which direction is it? Could we walk there from this property? Must the kids cross any busy road to get to the swim club? Because I'd like to send them on their own. You can give them so much information about the community, and I would strongly recommend that you think beyond a walkthrough tour of the home. The videos getting the most traction right now are more community videos. We're about to roll out a series of videos with Jack on Our Town. We did that series. You know, our video guys were here about 2 or 3 months ago. They're coming your way very shortly. There's some content that you can simply share along with your new listing. You didn't have to do anything. Come in, get the code, and forward it on to somebody thinking of moving to Hershey. Here's a video about our community. We should see a lot of views on those videos. They're professionally done. They're going to be very nice, and it's as simple as it comes. So I've listed a home in Hershey. Here's a video about the community, and here's my virtual tour that I already do anyway. And you've just really raised the impact of your video tour because now we have some information on the house, but more on the community. And we all seem to live in pretty cute little communities from the videos that I've seen. So make sure you take advantage of these. There are so many advantages and uses for this. It's kind of limited by your imagination. Once you have that code, you can send it out anywhere. You can start to leverage it and turn anything that you do into a little cross-media event. We're blending these things together. Nothing has died. We know that newspaper advertising is pretty much gone. We do know that direct mail is still getting the same response today that it got 10 years ago. It's never been a big response, but it hasn't gone down at all. Newspaper has fallen off the map. Every other media has dropped off. Direct mail is still getting the same level of response. I think that's really an interesting number. Now, it's what do you do with that direct mail? Let's link them into your profile pages. Let's bring them to a video. Let's bring them to some real rich content that gives them more information on the home that they've ever had before. This stuff is all mobile friendly. This will show up on any cell phone. YouTube has already corrected themselves and made themselves very responsive to whatever device you're using. And they stream this at a very high quality definition. So you have control over all of these features. Don't see why we wouldn't leverage it more than we do. So in my next adventure, which will be on Tuesday, we'll cover another app that's going to help you with some video. I hope you've downloaded Videolicious. If you haven't, go to YouTube, JGR Training, search for that, and watch the Videolicious app segment. It's only about 5 minutes, but it's going to walk you through Videolicious, give you a little bit of a teaser on what it's like to use it, create a channel on YouTube, and let's start building a little bit of a path out there for you in this virtual world. If you can think of it, somebody has done a video on it. I recently bought well, you can buy anything. Nothing comes with a guidebook anymore. There are no instructions. But I guarantee you some goofy character like me has created a how-to-do-it video, and it's out here online. Ian and I taught ourselves how to use the software we're using by an 8-minute video that somebody created and put on YouTube. I guarantee you, there was no documentation that would show us how to do what that woman figured out and could convey to us in 8 minutes or less. So all those things are available. How-to videos are the #1 viewed type of video that appears on YouTube. And you can see this: how to train your dragon, how to tie a tie, how to make a starburst bracelet, the #1 how-to search on YouTube, how to make a bow, and so on and so forth. So these things are being viewed in ridiculous numbers. Billions of videos are being viewed constantly. If you aren't there, guys, you're missing out on one of the largest marketing opportunities that I've ever seen. And you can control the whole thing. It's a very rich experience, and it's free. And so it's, again, it's limited by your imagination, which maybe you have limited imagination. Well, then search through here and get some ideas. Just like this guy that stood out in the snow on Saturday, you never know what's going to come and inspire you. But here are things that we can create, we can host, I can broadcast to the world. Everything about this is free, except buying the camera. Your cell phone is capable of doing all this work, and it's like a free benefit of having your cell phone. So stay tuned to this series. We'll give you more ideas on how to create some content now that you know where it can live, and there are many other choices. But go where the, fish where the fish are. Put your videos into YouTube. There are all these little splintered services that are all trying to do the same thing. The bad news, at the end of the day, they're not owned by Google, and so they don't give you the same punch. They don't have the same community built around them. They're not tied into Google+. Let's really leverage the efforts that you make and reach more people in the world that are searching and looking to find the content that you're creating. That's kind of the news for the day. Any questions? We did have some people join me here in Chambersburg, so any questions on the whole YouTube? Anybody use YouTube? You watch it, or do you have stuff on it?
I watch it. I think I did my JCO. I had my music.
Terrific.
The videos that you're talking about creating and dropping into Facebook, are those the ones that are going to autoplay, or do we have to do something to it to make it autoplay?
Well, to do auto, the question is, if you create a video, how do you get it to autoplay on Facebook? that's the one where you load the video into Facebook. So you must upload it onto Facebook. Now, the limitation to that, anybody that's surfing through Facebook on an Apple device, it's coming through in Flash Media, and so it doesn't work. And they can't link to it and cause it to work. I think that's worse than not having it there. So for that reason, I don't like it at all. And that's why I always use a link from YouTube into Facebook, and they can tap it and play it. The autoplay feature is really pretty new. For what I see on feedback with people that are posting things online, it's kind of 50-50. You love it or hate it. I think we're going to find more people are going to find it annoying and are going to hate it over time. But if you're going to do a video that auto plays on Facebook, your first 5 seconds are really where you got to come out hard and strong. Not a weird graphic, not got to be a line that just hooks you and makes you watch the rest. Because you probably have that, as you're scrolling by, that 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds for somebody to say, oh my gosh, I have to watch this. So I guess there needs to be a cat doing something weird in order to, catch somebody's attention in that brief time.
Can you target markets with the YouTube videos? Say you have a property that you know that city dwellers would just love to have it like a retreat kind of home, like Jersey City, Baltimore area. Is there a way to target?
Yeah, the question here is, can I create a video and market that to somebody that might live in Philadelphia that's looking for a weekend retreat? The best idea I'd have, you could either use a LinkedIn or Facebook. You would simply link your video into those services and then create an ad through them. You have to spend some promotional dollars for that to pop up. But yeah, then you could drill it down to Philadelphia, someone earning more than $70,000, maybe an attorney, or you can really pick it apart. Somebody with an interest in kayaking and hiking and hunting. Those things are all choices for you, so you can really, really narrow it to a niche. And that's a real advanced use of it. I love the question. All right, everyone. Well, that is the news today from Chambersburg for you. I appreciate you tuning in, staying with us, and hope to find you on YouTube in the near future. This is John Tice. We're going to sign off for today and hope to see you next week. Thanks, everybody. On to Skill Builder.